Welcome everybody. Today we are going to be talking about COVID-19, the on our federal lawsuit. We're also going to be talking about state constitutions. We're going to be talking about Article 6, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution. And we're going to also talk about the this this shutdown of the cities. So I want to say all constitutional rights are invoked, none are waived in this video, as in many others. Okay, so this video cannot be tampered with for any reason. Okay, any reason that would be contrary to federal law, we're not having it. All right, okay. Getting right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is I want to first talk about the update on our federal lawsuit. Okay. There was an order issued recently which advised us as the plaintiffs to file a updated memorandum against one of the defendants, and that'll be going in next week. That'll be going on to the docket. Now, as I stated before, as me and Moses and I both stated, there will be no benefits of doubts. There will be no forgetting, and there will be no forgive and forget. Okay? Accountability will be full force for what was done. And everybody who's been following this channel, they know what we've been going through with these lawsuits. They know what we've been through concerning these unconstitutional acts. You see what I mean? And in going through this stuff, has created a passion inside of both of Moses and I. It has created a passion in both of us to be passionate about the United States Constitution and the rights that it guarantees. Now, again, the United States Constitution does not give you your rights, okay? It does not give you your rights. Your rights are God-given, and then the Constitution supports those rights, okay? So your rights are not able to be taken away in this country. Your rights are not able to be taken away because they are inalienable, okay? And a lot of people might say, well, what's going on right now? So I'm going to get into that here in a second, but I want to just talk a little bit more about the federal case, our federal lawsuit. We intend to fight this lawsuit very aggressive, very vigorous, okay, very tedious, very step by step, all the way down to the finest grain. All right, we're going to make sure every single person who was involved in the crime, every single one of you, we're coming to see y'all. So, okay, so accountability will be had, okay? COVID and Corona ain't stopped that. They ain't shut that down, okay? So we'll be moving forward with that, and nothing has changed to this point. We're still in the same position as we were from day one, okay? We're still in the same position as far as how we feel. Okay, we were severely damaged in the state courts. We were severely mistreated in Ohio. We were treated so bad in the state of Ohio. Let me tell you how bad it is. We were treated so diabolical in that state with what we had went through that we won't even sleep in that state. So if we go there, we won't even stay overnight there. We won't even sleep there. I can't even allow my body to go to sleep while I'm on that land. That's how evil I feel that land is. And I was born and raised there. So, it kind of hurts my feelings to have to say that, but, I have to call it like it is. Many of you who've been watching this channel, I call it like it is, and I'll say it whatever it needs to be said. I don't care. So, that hopefully one day Ohio will turn around. I believe Ohio will turn around. I believe it will, because it is the heart of the country. It's the heart of the country, and I believe that what goes on there is, is very important to the rest of the country too. But getting right into it, getting further into it, yes, we're still maintaining the same position. We are not forgiving and forgetting. Accountability first, and then forgive and never forget. All right? Okay. All right, so we are in the same position on that. We're still going full force. Okay. Now, let's talk about COVID and Rona. Okay? COVID and Rona. Now, when I talk about rights, people's rights, I'm so passionate about it that I don't know, it just take over me. Like, I'm so passionate about people's rights not being violated that it literally does something to the inside of my stomach, like real bad, to when I witness somebody's rights are being violated, or when somebody is being abused judicially, you see what I mean, or by police or whatever. That stuff just burns me to the being, to the core of my being. That stuff burns me to the core of my being. So I don't believe that it is ever possible for me to really forget what we went through. But in saying that, I would like to say that I'm really passionate about that. Now, we're going to talk about this COVID-19 thing here. I have a lot of personal beliefs about that, and and I'm going to do this disclaimer before I get into this, because people like to pick stuff apart and go into the comment section and start trolling and starting arguments. First of all, these opinions of mine about this that's going on is my opinion, okay? So I'm stating that it's my opinion for a disclaimer. And we are all entitled to our opinion. Maybe you might feel something different. Maybe the next person might feel something different. But this is about my opinion about it, okay? So I do want to say, in my opinion, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, he is, I believe that he was taken by surprise with this thing, and I believe that he's doing the best that he can to kind of navigate, because this is something that hasn't never jumped off really like this. This is a new precedent that's being set, and it's a very dangerous precedent, and I'm going to explain why. It's a very dangerous precedent because the governors of the states, okay, if you go back to some of the videos that I did in the past, I always talk about Article 6, Clause 2. It's very powerful. Very powerful. All right? Now, the reason why Article 6, Clause 2 is relevant in terms of COVID-19, COVID and Rona, is because we have governors who are shutting down the states, their respective states. They're shutting them down under the guise of protection from the COVID-19. Now here's the problem. Here's the problem. A lot of people, they see that as a good thing. They like, oh, we want to keep this thing shut down. We got to keep this thing shut down because we got to get this virus under control, this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Then you have another on the other hand, you have some other people who saying, you know, this is a government overreach, and the Constitution does not allow the shutting down of a state and businesses. Okay, now, I'm going to speak about something specifically that I know when it comes to businesses. When it comes to an LLC, a limited liability company, or corporation, C Corp, S Corp, whatever. When it comes to a corporation or a limited liability that has filed articles of incorporation in whatever respective state that they were incorporated in, now the state has the legal authority to shut that business down. That state can say, well, I'm issuing an order and I'm shutting that business down. Okay? All right? Because there is a relationship with the state there. Soon as you there's a relationship with the state. Soon as you soon as you went into the LLC, soon as you incorporated yourself in that state. Okay, so you're a part of that state, physical, and you're a part of it. So with that being said, if you are a sole proprietorship, okay? If you are a sole proprietorship and you are not incorporated, then your business is protected by the United States Constitution, okay? Because that business is you. You are that business, okay? So that business is protected by the Constitution. Now, getting back on target with this COVID-19, and when I say, some people say, okay, it's a good thing that that the shutdown happened, that everything is shut down, and then you have some people saying that it's not so good. Now, I'm going to give my opinion, okay? My opinion is this. If the President of the United States declared martial law, okay, then the terms and conditions in the Constitution would be set aside. The Constitution allows that. The Constitution allows that. Let me say that again. The Constitution allows the president to declare martial law in a state of a national emergency or something like that, or emergency situation, okay? Now that has not been done, okay? That has not been done. That has not been done. Martial law has not been declared, okay? So if martial law has not been declared, the Constitution is still active and live and well, okay? Okay? Now, let's talk about state constitutions. State constitutions are inferior constitutions. They are inferior constitutions, okay? State constitutions are inferior constitutions under the United States Constitution, all right? The United States Constitution is the father of those other constitutions, okay? There's a tier, all right? So the state constitutions control the body of the state laws, all right? The state constitutions control the body of the state laws, okay? Now, let's talk about Article 6, Clause 2. Article 6, Clause 2 says this. It says if there's anything in your state constitution, okay, that comes in conflict with that father constitution, then that constitution is null and void, okay? if there's any laws that come in conflict, if there's any state laws that come in conflict with that father constitution, okay, those laws are notwithstanding. They have no effect. All right? They have no legal effect. All right? No lawful legal effect. All right? Okay. So, state constitution is inferior. Now, I'm saying all of that to say the governors, they don't have the lawful ability to shut down businesses that are sole proprietorships. They do not have the lawful authority under the supreme law. They have no lawful authority to be telling anybody to stay in the house. I wouldn't care if it was dragons and dinosaurs outside eating people up. If a person wants to go outside, they should have that choice. That's their choice. You don't get to control that. Okay? You don't get to. No matter how much you think you do, or no matter how much you think you can, you can't. You can't. You can't. You can't do it. All right? Okay. Now, Attorney General Barr. Attorney General Barr knows that what I'm saying is real. Donald J. Trump, President Donald J. Trump, he knows what I'm saying is real. You cannot, as a state, tell somebody to stay in the house. You cannot, as a state, tell somebody to wear a mask or else. You cannot be a business and tell somebody that you're not coming in this business if you ain't got no mask on. You can't do that. I don't give a damn where you located. If the United States Constitution has any lawful effect on that soil, which it does in all 50 states, then no, it's notwithstanding. Okay? It's notwithstanding. Now, Attorney General Barr, he made a statement, and he said the states are overreaching, and he said that he would support federal lawsuits against those states for overreach, because they're overreaching. You do not have the authority to do that. You can't do what you want to do. All right? You have to have precedent to control what you're doing. There is no precedent for this situation. Nothing like this never happened before. All right? The closest thing to a shutdown it was those shutdowns that was last year. Okay? And that, I believe, that's what brought us into this. All right? So these shutdowns of these states are not constitutional, and our attorney general Barr, he knows it. Trump knows it. And see, America is special. America is special because we will be the last country, the last one to allow ourselves to be locked down like that. You see what I'm saying? Like dogs. You know, I wouldn't give a damn if dragons and dinosaurs was outside blowing fire in hell. You can't tell somebody just because you think. You can't tell nobody, well, I'm going to do this so that you won't catch this corona or so that this won't spread. It makes no sense to me. Okay? It makes no sense to me. I'm a very logical person. And that makes no sense to me. All right? It makes no sense. If a person wants to have an option to stay in a house because they don't want to be exposed to COVID or Rona, then stay in the house. But that should not be a blanket on everyone, okay? That should not be a blanket on everyone. That should not be, all right? So there has been an overreach, okay? And I believe that these states will start opening back up because they're going to realize that they are putting themselves in a bad position by continuing such shutdown, and it's having drastic effects on people economically, you know what I'm saying, and as far as their health is concerned, mental health and everything, you know. So, and it's messing with the continuity in people's, you know, everyday activities they like to do, like going to the gym, things like that they're not able to, you know, do. People can't even get haircuts and things like that because, you know, you have beauty salons and barbershops are all shut down or whatever. So, you know, there's a lot of lessons to be learned from this. The American people can take lessons from this and learn, but again, the Constitution does not allow these governors. There is no body of law. There is no controlling law. No body of law, no precedent that gives them the authority to do what they want to do. The only exception is the president can declare martial law, but that hasn't been done. And those constitutional rights will be temporarily suspended upon declaration of martial law, but that hasn't been done. So, you know, this thing that we're seeing, it's not good. It's not good. Okay, it's not good because the potential things that it can be used to manipulate later. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, it can be used and abused by setting this kind of precedent is dangerous. So this precedent needs to be acknowledged that it is a damning precedent. It's a damning situation, and it doesn't need to be used as precedent to do it again. Okay, all right. So that pretty much sums up what I have to say in this video. But again, that United States Constitution is a very important, very important thing in this country. It's very important, and the reason why I said America would be one of the last countries to allow that is because the fabric of its society was woven with these beliefs. Okay, that flag is representative of these beliefs. Okay, in all of these 50 states. So, you know, I don't know where they getting the body of law or the precedent to be able to do what they're doing. I just clearly, I don't see how it is. I don't see how it's constitutional. But there's a lot of things that I've experienced in the last several years that was just people are comfortable with violating constitutional rights. I mean, it's people are so comfortable. It's just like, oh, I violated your rights. Oh, whatever. Oh, you know, it's almost a laughing matter. And when we were going through our legal situation, when I was reading a lot of the documents that the attorneys were submitting, responding to our complaints of, you know, violations of constitutional rights in that, they seem to don't take those things really serious. And I looked at a lot of civil rights lawsuits, a lot. And I was really disturbed. I was really disturbed to see how such rights can be so overlooked, but then you have people who died for those rights, okay? You have people who died for those rights, people who have sacrificed their lives for people like me and all the rest of the Americans to have, okay? So I don't feel like you should allow that right to be easily abridged, okay? Because you have to respect the fact that somebody fought for that and somebody stood up for that. So you have to support that. You have an obligation to. And I'm not going to make this video too much longer, but I think I pretty much covered everything. If you guys have any comments or any questions, you can enter them in the comment section and we will be delighted to answer those. We will be doing live streams more often coming up soon in the near future, and we will be keeping you guys abreast on everything that goes on with this lawsuit. Every single thing, we're going to give you all the way down to the detail, every single thing, okay? So we're moving forward with that, and the judge will be making some rulings within a few weeks, and we will be moving right along. So again, if you guys have any questions or concerns, you can enter them in the comment section. Again, all constitutional rights are invoked, none are waived. So this video is protected content under the United States Constitution and federal controlling law. Any act to try to sabotage this video in any type of way or bother it in any type of way will subject you directly to federal action in federal court. Au revoir.